we're in like what, week 7 quarantine. I already have a full beard. Hito looks like a grandmaster now. Like he looks like an old sage. It's been 25 years, and we're not getting any compensation. That's all I'm talking about. Like, I'm not getting $1,200 from the government. You're not getting your gift cards to sushi.
I'm not getting anything.
Okay, there's that. And I'm not getting any money for my graduation thing. I'm only getting $60, and I'm thinking they could at least give me coupons, like a free bowl or two, like 3 free bowls at Chipotle, with large chips, nachos. Yes, but it's only a small. Like, can I at least get something like that instead of nothing? Just Chipotle, nothing else. It could be Taco Bell, shut them down. McDonald's, they've lived on too long. What else? Jersey, no, keep Jersey Mike's. Did you try Jersey Mike's in California?
Yes.
Delicious. Keep them open.
Yeah, not bad.
And then where else open? Keep the ice cream shop Afters open. That's pretty good.
Which one?
It's called Afters.
Never heard of him.
I think it was strictly like a SoCal like skater boys and UCR joint. Their ice cream's pretty good. Like all the younglings go there to get their ice cream. But yes, that's all right. That's welcome to Minority Opinions podcast. I'm Ricardo and fellow co-host Hito.
Hi.
And I don't know. How you doing? How's life going for you?
Life is depressing.
I noticed a little bit of grays in your hair. Is that grays or is that reflection?
I think it's just reflection.
Because I saw the hairs and I was like, oh my god! I was like, is he that stressed? Like,
within a week, I got so stressed that I started growing gray hair. Yeah.
Like I was like, damn, he has so much anxiety. Like I'm chilling over here. I look like a traveling Italian man. Nah, what does that mean? I look like a very youthful person. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. And I look like I just aged like 50.
Or like 55.
Yeah, 55. Yeah.
Like when you blinked right now, I saw a part of you leave your body, and I was like, oh god. But I don't know. I think a lot of our skate parks and like parks in general have been like gated up. Like there's like these 10-foot fences with this. I think they're gonna add chicken wire soon, and it's like intimidating because like city patrol come out. And I'm like, is that who is that? And then they're just like, yeah, put the fence up around the skate park. And I was like, oh wow, they're actually gonna do it.
Well, at least where you live in is taking actions, or your country is taking actions.
Go California.
Yeah, Governor Newsom 2024.
There we go. That's the hashtag of the day. Governor Newsom. Imagine like flashing letters in red, white, and blue. Governor Newsom. Governor. That should be his name. The Governor. Like the Governator. The Governor. Governator. Yeah, so he's leading the country. We need him for 2024 to beat whoever they pick after either hopefully Agent Orange or Biden's out. So you know what I mean. Wait, he could. Oh wait. I can't predict the future. I'll stay quiet.
Yeah, this week has been pretty depressing.
Yeah, Bernie dropped out. Oh yeah, he basically dropped out. That sucks.
Yeah, well, if you live in like New York and pretty much every other states that still have primaries, vote for Bernie. Give him more delegates.
And remember, Andrew Young and Elizabeth Warren dropped, so stop voting for them.
Yeah, and they endorsed Biden over Bernie, so fuck them.
They probably went with it's more tactical vote and stuff like that.
Yeah, the establishment fuckers. I mean, wasn't it Wisconsin that like had in-person voting like open this week? God. Even though the governor, was it the governor? Yeah, I think the governor of Wisconsin said, we're not doing in-person voting. No way. We're not risking people's lives. And then the Supreme Court in the Wisconsin Supreme Court, I don't know how this thing works.
Yeah, like statewide, yeah.
Yeah, their Supreme Court, run by Republicans, basically overruled him. So it's like, yeah, fuck your lives.
Oh my god! And like, here's the thing: I feel like I don't think this thing will last till November. But if it did, mail-in ballots wouldn't be a bad idea. Like they're always like fear-mongering. They're like, oh, they're gonna get rigged, and it's not gonna work. And it's like, why? But why?
Yeah.
They're doing it on purpose, so we cannot vote. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just preparing for another 4 years of Agent Orange presidency. Like I
I don't
can't
know.
I cannot imagine Biden beating, like he's got dementia, he's got cognitive
Descendants. Oh,
dissonance, yeah, so no. There's no way he can win.
I don't know. I feel like because he basically has the black vote, which is like most of the South because of Obama, and then he has like the old Christian people that are like, oh, go Biden, and then we have the desperate people like me who was like, well, you worked with Obama, so we gotta vote for you. I feel like with enough force. Oh, and he has a Latino vote. He also is really good with Latinos for some reason. I don't know why. I legit don't know why. Even if all this crazy stuff happens and we can't deal with it, we gotta move onward with it, you know?
There goes your awkward transitions.
Awkward transition.
Yeah. So, as we said in the last week's episode, we're reviewing a new movie, and that's Onward. And we also are going to talk about some other stuff that we saw in the last week or so. So
Yes.
it's not just going to be Onward reviews. So yeah, should be
Yeah,
fun.
so was this the first Disney movie they released on Disney Plus? Or like, yeah, it is.
If Lady and the Tramp doesn't count, then I
Doesn't
guess. Or that what is it, Noelle movie that they put out,
Noelle?
like starring Anna Kendrick. I don't know. That's what I heard.
I have no idea.
Anyways, this is the first Disney property in which they put out theatrically and decided to drop it digitally, like a couple weeks after the theatrical release.
Yeah. So then we're like fresh meat, and then we just both hit play, and we're like, yes, this is so okay. Like,
Well, we should give out the premise first. So this is
all right.
taking place in a sort of a fantastical and the realistical worlds combined.
Yeah, think of Dungeons and Dragons, but like, yeah, a fictional Pixar world. So then it's Timothée Chalamet. Wait, that's not Timothée. Tom Holland?
Yeah,
Whoops.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland and Chris Pratt are these two brothers, Ian and
Barley.
Barley, because I know barley. It was like a type of alcohol. I was like, what is it?
That's Bailey.
So, oh, whoops, never mind. So these two brothers, Spider-Man and Star-Lord, they're brothers who are trying to bring their father back from
dead.
Bring him back from the dead for one day, until the sunset is over. That's a weird. I never thought about. That's kind of weird. It's like, oh, hey, they're bringing him back from the dead. It's like,
Tom Holland's character is Ian. So Ian casts a visitation spell that brings back half of Dad's body, just the lower half of Dad, basically.
the part that matters.
Yeah, the part that matters. And yeah, they go on a journey to bring him the rest of his bodies. And along the way, we see pixie biker gangs and what is that thing?
Centaurs.
Centaurs, dragons / snake hybrid thing. And this movie is okay.
It's a very okay movie. Like I've read things where it's like, oh, this movie's pretty slow in the beginning and it takes way too long to get to the real action, and the last third is the most exciting. I'm like, maybe it's not that way. And I was watching it, I was like, okay, all right, they're gonna get a map. Okay. Oh, it's at 1 hour. Oh my god. Like, I don't know. It felt. This is the most okay. One of the most okay movies I think Pixar's released.
Yeah, this is my least favorite of their movies in a really long time.
Really? Like, I mean, did you watch Good Dinosaur?
I just rented The Good Dinosaur, so I'm gonna check that out. But
That one was really okay as well. Like, for their standards, I was like, what is this?
this is perfect for Disney Plus. Like as I was watching it, I was like, I don't really need to see this in a theater. It's one of those like straight to DVD movies that you just watch it once and just be done with it. Just I cannot imagine myself watching this again and again and again in the future.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think this is strictly for me because they literally pander to my audiences. But like I could watch Coco like over and over again for like I think the end of time because it's so rewatchable.
Yeah,
to me
yeah.
at least.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of cheating because it's literally me. So I was like, okay, a little bit of bias. But then there's rewatchables like Toy Story 1 through 3 and 4. And like, they're highly rewatchable. Incredibles is highly rewatchable. This one, I don't, I feel like it's very linear and very like safe going for a Pixar film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, we're going to make toys talk. We're going to make them have an existential crisis. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Incredibles, very libertarian view on superheroes. Like, should people have superpowers? Should they not? Is there such thing as equality? Like, deep concept. This one's like, let's go on an 80s John Hughes adventure. And I was like, not that challenging, but it's feasible.
I mean, at the heart of it, it's a story about these chalk and cheese brothers dealing with the loss of a parent, the loss of magic, the loss of, something in their lives. And I do think the ending is really strong.
Yeah.
The ending was quite lovely, although it was not the ending that I wanted it to be, but from the character's perspective, I can see why it's significant. But one of the problems I had with it was that I had a hard time getting used to the world of it because we have these cartoonish characters in a fairly realistic setting. And it was weird seeing like these, I don't know, one-eyed characters saying, "Oh, I have to think about the mortgage and the payrolls, and I have to think about all these things." And there's a part where we see like a pawn shop. I wanted it to be either like full-on fantastical or full-on realistic, and this one just it's sort of in the middle and just, we have this really, like a DreamWorks characters.
Right.
It didn't feel like a Pixar movie. It felt all over the place.
I mean, I will say, like, it was. I get why they would contrast the two, like highly whimsical, unrealistic versus reality. It's like I can see them blending those two together to make it like, oh, this is a strange. It's like seeing like it's a thing like people not liking humanoid animals like foxes and like it's kind of weird. This one's like, are trolls like more human-like or are they more beast-like? It's like, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Let's make it cute. And I'm like, it works. It didn't throw me off because I'm like, okay, this is typical. Like I saw it more as a fantasy movie. But it was weird. Like they mentioned in a lot of this movie where they're like, oh, we have real technology. We have we have this way now. And I was like, is this a message about modernization and the loss of culture? I'm like, that's a pretty big topic. But then the movie kind of shied away from it. It was like, Dad, and I was like, did you just mention that like naturally you should not be using cars? Like, what do you mean? This movie, I have a weird interpretation of this movie, and I'm not sure if anybody's thinking of it that way. Like, is it saying the more generations past go, that there's less magic? So is it making a critique on like generations in America? Like, as the years go on, you lose more and more of your heritage.
Sure, yeah.
I'm digging way too much in this movie. Like, I don't know.
That sounds. I don't know. That sounds like a valid interpretation. I can see why. Like, it makes sense.
Like, I don't know. That part kind of like I don't know if it intended that or the guy's just like, nah. It's just he's a horse, so he should run. Like I don't know. I don't know what they were in. That's the thing that got me thinking. I was like, is that what the movie's about? And maybe I think I liked it a little bit more than you did, probably only for that reason.
Yeah.
Except for one plot element I really did not like that got me thinking that's false. Like,
is it spoilerly? Can you talk about it?
It involves the rope scene.
No, it's not a spoiler. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just me being probably nitpicky, but it's probably there's like a line in the movie where it's like, oh, blah blah blah, like it explains it. There's a part where he has to cross a bridge using an invisible bridge, like Indiana Jones. Like, you have to believe in it because it's a spell. So then he's like, oh, and the brothers Chris Pratt. Here's another thing I have a little critique about. Chris Pratt was like, "Oh, if you believe it's there, then it's gonna appear." And I was like, "Oh, that's a simple rule." But then he puts a rope on him and tells him, "No worry, the rope is there." So then, wouldn't that technically mean if you have the rope, thinking, "Oh, I need the rope because it's insurance," that means you don't believe in it fully 100%? So it shouldn't work.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I'm like, what are the rules? I know, it's stupid. It's stupid. I hate myself. I sound like CinemaSins right now. But this is like a legit critique. I'm like, I don't know, man. How is this? It's like, you gotta say with your heart. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, now that you said it, yeah, I can see that.
There's a lot of many things in this movie where I'm like, that makes some sense. Like,
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
makes me not dislike it more. I'm just like, how does that work?
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you have any weird, specific interpretations?
No, not really. I just I just watched it and I was like, cool. I was okay. Like, it didn't make me angry. I was mildly entertained. I really couldn't stand Chris Pratt. I hate his voice. It just didn't work for me. I felt like Chris Pratt's character should have been like voiced by Jack Black. I think he would have brought more like kid-like wonder to that kind of sort of man-child character. I think he's far better at that than Chris Pratt, who's just really annoying.
I mentioned it to you this earlier. Like, it did have like John Hughes vibes, like 80s. Like, wow, I'm a kid who's an asshole, but everybody loves me. You know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of John Hughes themes in like movies. It's like, oh, these movies are relatable to high school kids. I'm like, no. These movies are relatable to white upper middle class kids in the 80s who lived in suburbs. That's what they appeal to. That's a Minority Opinions podcast. But I kind of felt like that, and I was like, oh, I'm not digging this vibe. Like, I think like you said, I wish there was more like fantastical parts to it, because I felt like it was very surface level, like magic stuff.
Yeah,
because like, you know how like Stranger Things made a reference like every 5 minutes, and I was like, well, X-wings, you know, like stuff like that. You either go full dip or you don't, you know.
Yeah.
We don't hate this movie. We just have some specific critiques about it.
I certainly don't hate it. You definitely liked it a lot more. And
I'm just pointing out things. Yeah.
You know, and it's valid, totally valid. I wasn't thinking about those things until you said it, so that's good. I mean, the animation is cool, although it's not like the best of like Pixar's work. Yeah, it's just, I mean, some of the music was cool. There are some funny moments. It's an okay DreamWorks movie, but it's a very forgettable Pixar movie. To see Birds of Prey.
Oh shit, yeah, you did.
And it was awesome.
Very different responses from both of us.
Yeah. I really liked it. That was a lot of fun. I needed this. I needed that movie.
Yeah, you saw it in a very stressful time. I saw it in a relaxed time, so we had different attitudes. And then Ewan McGregor and Bad Bunny are evil villains together.
Oh, he was so great. He's appropriately flamboyant. And he walks that really fine line between, like, you know, not offensive, but, like, not super cartoony. Just really fine line. And he was great. I loved him, even though he's a horrible gangster character.
I thought you meant Obi-Wan. I was like, don't you dare speak ill about my queen. Like,
no, I'm talking about Black Mask. He's a godfather, like, terrible person who likes to peel off faces. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's a Joker thing. I was like, that's a specifically a Joker thing. I'm like, that's interesting. What are they implying with that? Like, no, like his assistant Isaac Zaz in the comics or games, he's always like this creepy guy, and this is like only increasing nerd beanie moment. But I'm like, that's a good interpretation. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I felt so greasy. I was like, I know who that is.
Well, I know nothing about the comics, so no comment from me.
Okay.
Overall, this movie is really like a lot of fun. I think Margot Robbie kills it as Harley Quinn. I could like not a single like second did I think, oh, that's Margot Robbie. I kept thinking, oh, that's Harley Quinn. That's a perfect Harley Quinn.
Yeah, she's the first on-screen Harley Quinn, and she's pretty good. I mean, she's not like cartoony enough where it's like, oh my god, this is terrible. It's weird because I think of what's that movie, I, Tonya, and I'm like, that's her. Like that's just her. This is I, Tonya.
Yeah,
as a hero. The fight choreographers from like John Wick are in this movie.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of them are very creative, and like it's not like Jason Bourne stuff where it's like heavy cuts every second. Like it's like long sequences of action. I'm like, it's kind of like John Wick. And it's like, it is John Wick.
Yeah. It's very practical, very physical, which I liked, and yeah, a lot of like crotch punching, crotch kicking.
I mean, it's like, in Uncut Gems, it's like, you want to win by 5 points or 35? Like, it's like, okay, a gunshot, okay, yeah, you'll win the fight, whatever. But a nut punch, okay, that's pretty, you don't have to do that, but it works. Yeah. It's like,
even without the action sequences, I think the thing that worked for me was the character stuff. Like, I really liked Harley just, trying to not overcome, but like get over the breakup. That felt very human. Yeah, she wasn't like this, a psychotic murderer that we saw in Suicide Squad. We got to see her human side of it, and that was nice. And we got to see her interaction with Cassandra Cain. That was fun when they were bonding in her flat. Apartment, eating cereal and hanging out with Bruce the hyena. It's the little things that made me work for me. And Huntress, I think she's great. I hope she gets to be in another Birds of Prey movie. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was great. I think she can do no wrong, and she was fantastic as Huntress. And Journey Smollett Bell. She's the one who played Black Canary. She was great. And that reveal turns out that she has superpower. I didn't know that because I'm not familiar with the comics. So when that happened, like, wonderful surprise that I didn't see coming. And okay, the cop character was the weakest of the 5 women.
I really did not like her. I don't think I mentioned that, but like I thought her character was, I'm using this word very precisely, was severely annoying.
I think the movie was like very much aware of what that character represented. Like, she was like an 80s cop movie character. That's what she was. But even then I was like, yeah, this isn't really working for me. Yeah, it was fun. Spectacularly anti-man, and I loved it. And the soundtrack, great soundtrack. Like, I usually I don't like movies that use too many pop music, like to let you know what the character's feeling. This is the state of mind they're in. But this one worked perfectly fine. So yeah, really fun movie. I really enjoyed it. Better than Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, Justice League, and possibly Shazam.
Oh my god, they haven't released a good one.
No, a lot of people liked Shazam. I just thought it was fine. Like the Onward of DCEU, it was fine.
The Onward.
Yeah. But Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Birds of Prey, very good movies.
I saw Shaft and I saw Foxy Brown.
I don't know the last one, the latter.
Foxy Brown was basically just Shaft, but for women, black women.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Because like Criterion right now has like this collection called the '70s era of films, and it was like '70s icon films that inspired fashion. And I saw one of them. I think you've seen it too. It was What's Up, Doc?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was on then, and I was like, I already seen that in my screwball comedy class, and I know the references. And then I saw Shaft, and I was like, I heard it's a classic, so I watched it. It's pretty dumb, but I loved it. It's this cop vigilante who's like hired by the mob. He's like, they kidnapped my daughter. I need you to go get her. And I was like, is this Taxi Driver? And I was like, he goes bursting in. He has this intricate plan where he shoots white people with the fire hose, and then he shoots a bunch of them with machine guns, and he throws a Molotov cocktail into the. This movie is bonkers. This movie is crazy. And you know he's a cool guy because the beginning intro, like the music's done by Isaac Hayes. So I'm like, okay, that's an artist right there. He'll be like crossing the street, like jaywalking, and they're like, "Hey, get out of the way!" He'll be like, "Shut up, who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, he's a cool guy." And a cop asks him, "Where are you going?" And he says, "I'm off to get laid," and then he walks off. Oh my god, it's my first taste of blaxploitation films, and I love it so far.
I still have not seen the original Shaft, so I'm jealous.
You saw the most recent one, right?
I saw the two Sam Jackson Shafts.
I didn't know he was in the first one, and then they did a reboot of a reboot with him again, last year.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
I mean, it was in the latest one, the original Shaft is in the movie too, so it's a three generation Shafts thing going. That movie was dumb.
I know. I mean, I think it only worked dumb back then because it was a new trend. I was like, whoa, he's shooting. And there's a part where he's like, hey, want to get some coffee? He's like, not from you, honky. And I was like, whoa. I was like, it was just so obvious. Like, that kind of stuff could happen. That would be considered cheesy these days if you just put like a direct slur like you blank. But back then it was like, you goddamn pencil neck, and I was like, pencil neck. I was like, I've heard of that one before, but I forgot who said it. And the same thing in Foxy Brown. It was like that, but for women. Like it was. Foxy Brown was way more depressing and dark than Shaft.
Oh,
because there's like woman trafficking in it. There's like masculinity problems. There's some very sexual themes that threw me off guard. There's a lot of scissors and male genitalia involved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm not gonna say when, but a guy gets hit by a helicopter, the blades, and he was like, ah, and then you just see the dummy like fly off screen. I was like, oh my god, that's so bad. And then this girl's like, she's like, we gotta find the people who sell the women, and you see her microphone like sticking out of her bra, and I'm like, oh my god. But I loved it though. I don't know. I love both of them.
Cool.
And then I saw one more movie that it almost brought me tears of emotional desire. Is Pain and Glory, finally.
Yes.
That movie is really good. Like I get Parasite's supposed to be important by class and stuff like that, but Pain and Glory is pretty good. Like that's the definition of a film, like emotional acting in film.
Yeah, this is the latest Almodovar movie.
And like, wow, it's like a not a parody, but it's like a summary of his career and his life and his emotions and how he got them, and just so personal and emotional and heroin filled. Like I related to this guy.
Hopefully not the heroin part.
Yeah, but it was just so emotional. I don't know, like traditional Almodovar. He uses those big blocks of color during emotional parts. And he's like, here's how my life came to be. Here's what I believe in. I'm like, wow, that is some heavy stuff. Just, I loved it. I might buy that Blu-ray on Blu-ray if it came out on Criterion.
Yeah, I loved it as well. I think it's top 3 Almodovar for me.
And it's crazy. Did you watch? You watched Matador, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the mom? What she looked like in the movie?
Mom.
Antonio Banderas' mom in Matador. Do you
Yeah.
remember her?
Yeah.
She's the mom in this movie too.
Really?
Yeah, and her when she's older. That's her.
Oh, okay.
Every single movie where Antonio Banderas has a mom, it's always the same actress, and she ages along with them too. Like I don't. That's she has the crazy eyes because
That is cool.
I love this movie, and it's funny because there's a part in the movie where it's like a photo of his dad, but it's just straight up Almodovar's dad. And I was like, yeah, that's his dad.
So yeah, that's it for the
Transition.
Banana. It's minions gibberish. Come on,
Oh my god.
get up to speed, man.
What? I'm not. I don't speak dumb. I'm not like banana. It's like what?
Are you calling me
he's-
dumb?
No.
Are you calling me dumb, you
I
dumb
said that
nut?
specifically. I said that specifically because I was like, I know he likes the minions.
I love minions. They're not dumb.
I legit don't get it.
They're beautiful.
Well, a lovely episode of Minority Opinions podcast where I offend Hito.
As usual. So yeah, thanks for listening. I hope you are staying at home and washing your hands thoroughly and
Hot water.
with hot water or cold water, any water. And yeah, subscribe and review us on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Twitter and Instagram and listen to our past episodes on Spotify and Google Music and all the other places.
Cause what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. Seriously, what else are you going to do?
Go outside? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it covers everything. Hito, thank you again for being a delightful host.
And thank you, Ricardo.
And we'll check all of you back again in our sweats next time on Minority Opinions Podcast.
Bye.